Me too. All right, I'm going to put myself in the corner again, just like yesterday, so that I'm not covering up anything super important.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. If only... Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He is trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love. Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be
I do like the sound of my own voice.
Must be expressed.
But I speak the truth.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Focused on the task.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your
He didn't say anything about the mirror.
Because there isn't a mirror. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Why would you lie about that? What's the point? I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Alright, let's go to the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is.
Yes, quite.
Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end. And now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair. You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulate.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. No. Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her out of her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh, if only you had a weapon. One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection.
Here we go. It's about to get weird.
And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Do you want to end the world?
Are you seriously...
Oh, we've been over this one. No, I do not want to end the world.
Okay, well, there must be something you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Okay. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Okay. You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
If that's what makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Oh. You don't get the chance to ask another question, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's okay. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
She'll be there waiting.
Approach the mirror. Since you silence as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing
What's up, Icy Storm?
chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
I just want it all to stop.
It will, in time. But you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
I'm still planning to kill you once we're done with this? You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Have you figured out what you'll want when we're finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
All right, I'm ready to go back
I
then.
will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Didn't like that.
You're on a path in the woods.
Can't someone else do this?
You're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. That's the spirit. You make your way up.
I'm gonna enter the basement without the blade again.
The door to the basement.
I'm here to save you. Lie. I'm here to save you.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me?
I see. You're trying to get her.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
I'll see what I can do. Examine the chains.
Only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess. and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
There she
hesitates
goes.
before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do.
Slay the
Without
princess.
hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons, and then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things.
Everything goes dark and you die. Hooray! Yippee! The witch. Oh boy.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions. If you're back here, we were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation.
We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her.
And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything?
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we? You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinion. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This whole cabin is different than last time.
Different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You have, so focus up.
Alright, we'll take the blade.
Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it.
That's not actually a bad idea.
To the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Say nothing.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognized the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole... You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the
She's got a
basement
tail
steps,
now.
entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this serious. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Sorry about last time. Look, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? Don't worry, the blade isn't for you. Or not for killing you. We've got to get you out somehow, right? I get the sense you're not happy with me. I think there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up. You're going to stab me in the back if I help you out of here. I don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Give her the blade. Yeah.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no, as do I. I abstain. You abstain.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that.
What's going on, Bolivar?
Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Money, 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 motherfucker. Money on my motherfucking mind. Cut 5 haircuts.
That's great placement of that alert. That's great placement of that alert. All right, let's play some cards, guys. Let's play some cards. Chat room, we'll be back to the game in a moment. We'll be back to the game in a moment. Tang just dropped a big 20 cards right there. $100 news, baby. Let's see how much time we add, what we end up playing. Don't apologize. Even for a moment, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, Moist Grumps in the chat. Simon says we got 17 cards left to play. Chat's moving so fast, no one will see that I'm a furry. Before Skill issue is
You
playing
son of a
strength in
bitch.
numbers twice. No! We're losing one of the boys. We're
You
losing
son
one of
of
the
a
boys. No. Poor guy. Chat's not moving fast enough to ignore the fact that I'm a furry. There you go. Can we get a mod check? Any mods around to time somebody out? Any mods around to time somebody out? Time out one of the furries. All right, we got another perfect run here. The King's Tax again. Any other VIPs willing to give up their diamond for a few extra minutes on the clock? VIPs, do your job. Pay your taxes. I guess not. Seeing double. Next card is doubled. Ah, the lemon eating up the double multiplier. But you know what? We got a 10 right after. That's not too bad. 20-minute right after that. If only we doubled into one of those.
You son
Another
of a
strength in
bitch.
numbers. We lost one of these guys, so now they're only 5 minutes and 30 seconds apiece. We're gonna have to get more. Another wee shop. Tang just got a bonus 2 draws twice this cycle of 20. He's making the way through the deck, dude. We're gonna be down to 16 cards left in the pile after this. Not bad. I don't think we have any VIPs in the chat right now. I think they're all lurking. I think they're all AFK, lurking, hanging out, doing something else. Yeah, we're VIP-less. This is where I would have given up my VIP if I had one. Maybe they're secretly greedy. Yeah. Maybe we have some secret greedy VIPs. Sarah, with the mod check, feel free to leave them timed out. It's the people happily paying the tax. It's part of the mod check. The people are happily contributing to the the downfall of the timer, the upkeep of the timer. Whoa, another 20. Huge. Deal or no deal, chat room. You've got a chance of getting another 30 minutes right here. You're going to make Tang's big 20 card drop real worth it if you pick the right case. Make sure you vote. Everybody needs to vote. Dude, 2 cards left still. 10 minutes. That's over 2 hours at it already. Holy smacks. Tang, how does it feel to draw such a powerhouse combo of cards? My God. Golden egg is in the discard pile. Yeah, it got chucked by a chuckster. Yeah, the chuckster chucked it. It was a damn shame, dude. A damn shame. That's a good idea. Let's see what's left in the deck. I like Money Matt's idea. In the draw pile, we have another wee shop. Oh, wow. We have 2 dumpers and a quiet time. A lot of curses. But we do have a look at me and a 20 as well. And a King's Return, giving out a diamond, and a Chuckster. Maybe he can get rid of a curse for you. Not bad. Not a bad stack left, but not the greatest stack either. Having a 20 and a look at me in there is pretty solid. Tang, thank you again, man. Appreciate the big hundo drop, dude. Very generous. I really appreciate that. Guys, let's keep heading forward and slay the princess. We gave her the knife. We just gave her the knife. Let's see what happens next. You're beautiful. I want to actually save you, and this feels like the only way to do it. That's up to you. It's why I gave you the blade. I chose last time, and I regret it. So now it's your turn to choose. We're both scared, and we're both hurting. If one of us doesn't make a change, we'll probably kill each other forever. Do you want that? I don't. We can be better than this. What's going on, Amanda? I'm holding up. I'm definitely holding up. You should have seen it. We played 600 cards at once yesterday. It was crazy. Yeah, so it got that timer nice and pumped up. I've accepted the reality that we're probably here for 30 days. It makes it easier to cope. It makes it a lot easier to cope. But I'm honestly doing pretty good. Apart from just like really wanting to go for a bike ride or something. Like I really just wanted to be in the sun for a while. Other than that, I think I'm doing pretty good. And need me to send you liquor? I'm actually so stocked up. Within arm's reach, I've got a bottle of Chinese Fen Chiu and a big bottle of Tanqueray gin. And if I just stood up, I got a bottle of vodka and a bottle of Fireball up on the top of the desk too. Bribe someone to take over the stream for half an hour so you can go for a hot girl walk. Oh, you're selling me on it just by calling it hot girl walk too. I could ask Haley to take over when she gets back from her trip if she'd be willing, so I could go outside for a little bit, but I also am trying I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to run what I consider a good old-fashioned honest subathon. Can I stream from outside? I've never streamed from my phone before. I could probably take some time to try to figure out how. I could probably try to figure out how, but we have not attempted that yet. Either way, the treadmill has helped me keep my energy going. 2-hour Navitz replacement. 19 plus days is what on the screen, so 23 projected. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna keep going here. All right, what do you think happens now? That's up to you. We're both scared and we're both hurting. If one of us doesn't make a change, we'll probably kill each other forever. Do you want that? I don't. We can be better than this.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the blade in your heart. What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Yay! The thorn.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything.
Oh my god, the smitten is back.
You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future. Ho ho, a visionary. I like it. Tell me more. Gladly, my dear fellow. By cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Traveling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so relatable. Now, where are we off to? Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us, does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
This place is different. It keeps changing.
Wonderful. If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which in turn likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know. I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her.
You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except the thoughts of her.
We're going to free her. We're even now. I'm sure she understands that, but we can see what she has to say for herself when we get there. I hope you don't think I'm planning on freeing her after she stabbed me in the heart.
What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. The more times you run through this, the more likely it is that you'll fail. You've already failed twice. So you knew this could happen? Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather not get it.
I don't care about where we came from, and I don't care to discuss the theory of anything. I yearn only to bring her freedom. I'm here to feel, not to think.
Then we can all move on and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. It sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already. I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts.
No matter what happens next, our answers are in the cabin.
Before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her.
Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side.
Approach the mirror.
And approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent.
You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features.
You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing?
Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help.
Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back. I I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
I want to figure out a way out of here for good. I don't know what I want. I never really chose to come here. I'm going to go down the stairs.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
I'm here to free you if you'll let me. I can cut you free, but you'll have to give me the blade. I broke our cycle of violence. If you still want to wallow in it, be my guest. I guess I don't have anything left to say to you. If you're going to be like that, I'm going to leave. I can cut you free, but you'll have to give me the blade.
And I'm supposed to believe it's safe in your hands? That you aren't just saying what you need to say in order to fool me and save yourself?
You're not the only one who yearns for freedom. I'm trapped as you are. I think we need to leave together.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Is there nothing I can say to change your mind?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion, our kindness.
Then maybe it's past time for either of us to say anything. All that counts is action.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her. We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
I just wanted the blade back. You're on your own now. No, I'm going to cut her free.
What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her?
You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion.
That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys.
You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade.
Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Of course I did.
She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs.
You should have kissed her, you fool. It was the perfect moment.
Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out.
Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade.
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
I'm gonna cut into the thorns.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this?
Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn an innocent like her to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better.
You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
I feel like I'm still gonna get debated at the end of this, but...
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day. You irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
They feel small and distant as you approach. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. In the long quiet, once again, you're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
You think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real? Do you have thoughts on this vessel? Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. When I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. And when I find him, I'm going to kill him.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Do you think anything is real out there?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Okay.
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart.
What's that so far? Grown, withered, unraveled. Yeah, let me see. My achievements on Steam are probably the easiest way to find that one. Withered, unraveled, grown. Maybe there's another one?
Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm ready to go back.
Next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods.
Continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the... You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
What's going on, Woodsy? It's going good, dude. We're gonna slay or save the princess. I don't really know.
The basement creaks open, revealing a
I tried to merge the
staircase
words and I said
faintly
slave, and I'm
illuminated
like,
by
that's not the word I
unseen light in the
want.
room below.
That's not the
This
choice.
is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. A hint of rot her voice carries.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I'm just continuing down the
Still
stairs.
listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the bed.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming.
I'm holding the knife.
Ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your...
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you...
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate...
Can we just talk?
You're so close. No, this is a good idea.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Then I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay
Shut up,
her
narrator!
or
This
drop
isn't
the
about
blade.
you. Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Dropping the blade.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you
Keep
step forward to
distance.
speak
Keep
with the princess
distance,
face
though. I didn't want to
face. We'll
step
be fine.
forward.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I'd just come here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous. Do you know why? You're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
I still have a few more questions before I decide what to do.
Fine. What do you want to know?
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. Right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided?
You know why.
I'm gonna get her out of here.
You have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm
doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any idea besides me cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. And if you attempt to make someone else here,
Turn to the bottom of the
you
stairs.
make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happened.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods.
The prisoner.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of...
Okay, no.
Don't you start grand... Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Okay, we go to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and... The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You take the good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Alright, let's get down there.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroic... The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse, just...
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure.
Just give it a rest, this isn't help.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
That other chain on the wall, who was it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
I think I'm going to leave you here, actually. What would you have me do? You were asking about my intentions earlier. What do you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
How am I supposed to cut you out if you didn't notice your head is in a shackle, too?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I have as much reason to distrust you as you have to distrust me. I'm not giving you a weapon. In case you've forgotten, you killed me with it last time.
I wouldn't do that.
And why?
Do I even
I'm
need
inspecting
to
the other
explain myself?
shackle.
It's a shackle and it's one without a key.
And what? Is it going?
I don't know.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
I had a feeling.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
So we're both stuck here.
Yep.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Not one for small talk, are ya?
Nope.
That's rude.
Did you know this was gonna happen to me?
You
Wait
and
in
the princess
silence.
wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Huh. You do not get the chance to respond.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. The mirror makes them leave, but you needed to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and you see it, a figure faint and veiled in shadow just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get
The
to see you.
narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
If you're not me, then what are you?
I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Oh god, there's so many dialogue options. What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation? Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that? Of all things, why a princess? Why couldn't she be an ant or a slice of soggy bread?
Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? She wound up a princess because you wanted her to be a princess. Maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize you like this.
If I destroy her, why would you want me to destroy the
Because
concept
among
of
other
transformation?
things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions? So you know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you've denied it even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
If you made me, then what am I?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Why would you want to rid the world of death?
If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
I think you're out of time. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good. Say nothing and watch him end.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with a newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Nascent. Oh. Okay. That's...
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is it all falling on me? Let's talk this through. Yo, Time Knight, thanks for the sub. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, we saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark? Address this vessel's statement directly, sure. They'll get over it. They'll see your end as a gift in time. That would be tortured.
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped.
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both. But compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change. But you say nothing.
Your little heart drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp?
I don't want to hide from the truth. I have no desire to hide, but the truth can be made better. If destroying you is what that takes, so be it.
Then
This is so weird.
leave with me. There's no need for you to fight what we are.
I won't. I'm ready. I want to leave with you. Stop the fight early and surrender. I won't leave with you, not until you've seen things from my perspective.
If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive, dead, all at once.
You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me.
You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives. And yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
If you hadn't snatched that body away, we would have killed each other. We were self-destructive. I like how the last one's just there 4 times. She's doing her best cosplay of Robin from One Piece. The narrative was her dead because she is death. I haven't fully grasped it myself. She is death, she is change. I think death. Also, I don't really understand what the narrator was as the echo, so I'm a little like, huh? Sure.
Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were.
Can you say with certainty what shape a world without you will take?
I know what I am, but I do not know what I am not. If a world without me is so unknown, then how can you be so sure you want to create it?
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
What do you think happens if we leave here?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
I was told there was enough of you in me to preserve meaning in existence, so I'm going to trust that's true. Have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry. You are cruelty itself, and I cannot let you exist. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't free you. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
So, there's a lot of words in chat, and I'm trying to kind of make my decisions without taking too much guidance, so I haven't glanced over too much, but I'll kind of fill you guys in with where my head's at right now. As I understand it, she is change, and death is part of change. And the narrator, who I don't really understand what the narrator was just yet, the narrator kind of was like, hey, if you kill her, you get rid of that. And so my understanding is that getting rid of, like she made the points earlier, like getting rid of death. What's the meaning of life without death, right? Without death, it's like that whole conversation that you see in all the time. Is immortality really all that great? If you live forever, then does anything really have meaning? Because there's infinite time, yada, yada, yada. But change is more than just death, too. If you get rid of change, I slay change, and doesn't everything just freeze? Wouldn't everything... How do I even slay change? Isn't that changing change? Isn't that change?
What I offer you is not...
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Which hero are you? You have no idea how good it is to hear you. I can do this alone. Where's everyone else? How are you supposed to help? I thought the voices weren't allowed here.
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
How are you supposed to help?
There's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all that divine confidence. I can help. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
I'd like that for old time's sake. Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
Alright, let's take the blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
Enter the basement.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
I will sit with her. I don't think I want to be a god.
Honestly, me neither.
Are you the same as you are out there?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
What does that even mean? What are we gonna do?
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
Would resetting it do anything to help them, the people out there? If you continue to exist, don't they continue to die and suffer?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
We're gonna find ourselves back here eventually. If we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done it before? This isn't fair. I want to be here with you. I don't want to be alone again. Is there any other way? Is it too late to go back to being a god?
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
Any other way?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
What up? Welcome home. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, fancy brunch was good?
Good.
Nice.
Great.
Did you ride them? Can't ride the donkeys?
Very.
What do you mean it's a saying? They're donkeys. It's like half of their life is to be ridden. They love being ridden. It's like this. They like being ridden, I think, though. Yeah, it's like a car likes being driven. A donkey likes being ridden. Fair enough. Well, you got to see them?
I got to see them.
Wow. So it was a petting zoo. A donkey petting zoo. Okay.
Here.
It's confusing. I'm currently debating whether or not I kill the concept of change, maybe.
Oh.
And also change is this little princess waifu. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very confused about this game. I'm trying to like work through it. But it's like it's very, I don't know how to describe it, but like you start off, you're in the woods, and then there's a narrator, and the narrator's like, hey, there's a princess in the cabin who's gonna destroy the world. You better go kill her. And you're like, sure. Then you go in there, and the princess is like, what up? I'm a locked up princess in a basement. And you basically repeat the same day,
Oh, it's one of those.
kind of, but the day is different every time, where it's not like,
Not Groundhog Day.
no, it's not Groundhog Day. Like you go in, and let's say the first time I go in, I end up killing her. So the next time I come in, she remembers and I remember, and I have voices in my head. And the more times I do stuff, the more voices that are there, and they're related to the path that I chose. So like, if I chose to like if I chose to be very skeptical in the last day, I have the voice of the hero in my head and the voice of the skeptic. I chose the next day to be opportunistic. I have the voice of the opportunist, etc., etc. And you go on, and the princess kind of, you find out very recently that she kind of changes based on what you're doing. So like she kind of, if you go in to try and kill her, then she like takes that and she's like, all right, we're killing each other. If you go in to try and free her, she's like, all right, let's get free, let's do that. If you go in, right? But you don't know in the beginning, because all you're told is like, she's trying to end the world, go kill her. And the narrator, you're like, narrator, I need a bit more than that. So then it turns out the narrator is like some bird.
It's a bird. Oh, okay, interesting.
A bird in a mirror that broke away, and now, yeah.
Thanks for the money.
It's very difficult to explain it.
Yes. Remember, she just wants you to be happy. Yeah, like right now, because they're like the princess. We're both gods, I guess. I'm a god. She's a god. I don't really know what I'm the god of, but she's the god of change. And within that is death. And she's like, let's both go free. And for some reason, like everything is like keeps implying that if we do that, endless suffering, which I guess is true if there's endless change.
Yeah.
But also, suffering is the same, is the other side of the coin of joy and life and play, right? Like, there is no suffering without good. It's all relative. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I think I have to free her. If I understand it as I've spoken it to you, I think I have to free her. I think we go free, and I don't think I think it's just bad branding. I think calling it suffering is bad branding from how I understand it.
Really didn't retain anything you just explained at all.
Didn't retain anything I explained. That's fair. I played the game for like 3 hours. I've barely been able to retain what I've told you.
Whatever you wanna, whatever you're gonna do, is the thing I would do. I have leftover.
I will eat them over time. I already had the rest that you left here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'm gonna decide how to approach this situation. Thank you. Okay, so I think through explaining it to Girlwater guys, I kind of feel like I've talked myself into the two of us going free. Not slaying the princess. I think I've talked myself into that. Take it all back, and I don't want this, and I don't want to kill you. Is it too late to go back to being a god?
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
Ah, shit. I don't want to for sure.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you.
Why does the whole world end? If I slay her, doesn't the whole world end?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
How do you know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? And what if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
We'd have decided to do this. We'd have to decide to do this every single time forever. Eventually, something is going to be different. What if we change our minds? This isn't fair. Oh, okay, let's...
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
Then let's do it.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
See you soon.
Hey, I love you.
That part of it feels weird.
You're on a path. You're here to...
Slay the princess, created by these people. I was not expecting this game to be as much of a brain bender as it ended up being. It's a very interesting game, very interesting concept. I played a little bit of Disco Elysium. I started streaming it Petulant, but it was not great stream content, I found. I got like 8 hours into it before kind of just forgetting about it for a while. Reminded you of this game? There's definitely multiple endings. There's 100% there's multiple endings. I did not enjoy that Disco Elysium stream. Yeah, it's not a game that's really good for like, oh, let's be goofy and have a good fun time. It's a visual novel. Of course there are multiple endings, yeah. Can be boring. I loved watching my husband play it though. I feel like it'd be fun to play on the couch with someone like, it's a weird one to play in front of an audience. Join the Discord, join the mailing list, return to the main menu. Well, it seems I got kind of a lame ending here, if you ask me. It seems like the ending that I got was the I don't know what to do. Let me try again. That's the ending I got. I do think that the answer was to let her free, and the destruction of the world is just time. That's my interpretation of what we could have done. And if we killed her, I genuinely have no idea what that means for whatever happened. I also don't know what the world is apart from what we've seen, right? Like, all we know in the context of this game is this cabin in the woods and the princess and me and the narrator and the voices. And the voices. What the fuck are the voices? I have no fucking idea. Oh. I thought the ending was sweet. You chose to try to be with her forever rather than take either side and leave the construct. I didn't feel... Yeah, I mean, I guess I get what you're saying. I mean, kind of. I didn't have a goal. None of the things I was looking to get out of that was for the princess and I to stay together forever or whatever. And she did kill me a couple times. I killed her a couple times. I wanted this loop broken, honestly. Did he get to the part where he talked to the narrator in the mirror? Yeah, we finished a playthrough, Conflicted Ibis, or Ibis. We finished a playthrough here, so we've seen a ending. We've seen a ending. This was a trip. Obviously, very much replayability there for those who would want to. I got 22 of 97 achievements, and it seems like there is a lot of different ways to either save or slay the princess. Worth picking up, or should I watch the VOD? It's a really interesting game. I think you might like it, Manic T. I think you might like it. Maybe we come back to this at a later date. Maybe. I'm not like in love with it enough to really feel like playing it again. Maybe one day. It's definitely not like my favorite type of game, but it was cool. Very glad that you two took time to think about the ending. I've seen a couple streamers who are just like, oh, she's death, she's gotta go. Yeah, honestly, I was just feeling like we were hitting a lot of like real big brain metaphysical concepts kind of shit going on with that ending. And I'm like, well, before I make any decisions, I want to understand what I'm doing. Didn't love it either, but it was quite interesting and I respect it for that. Yeah, I would definitely give it a positive rating. Like, I would give it a thumbs up. I liked it. I think it was good. I think the things it was trying to do, it did well. I think it was very interesting and creative and cool. I think the visuals were awesome. The music was good. As far as cup of teas go, it's just not mine. Like, it's not my top cup of tea in terms of genre or game or whatever, right? But I did think it was a cool game. I did think it had a good concept and it was cool stuff. I can really admire the execution.